There is a yogurt in your fridge right now that contains more sugar than ice cream, fewer live cultures than the label implies, and almost none of the health benefits you think you are paying for. The yogurt industry figured out how to fake it. Fake thickness built from cornstarch and stabilizers doing the job that genuine fermentation was supposed to do. Fake probiotics, killed by heat treatment before the pot reaches the shelf. Fake Greek yogurt, stiffened with additives to look like something it never was. Fake health claims, marketed directly to the people most desperate to believe them. And fake low-fat products engineered to make your hunger worse, while advertising themselves as the solution to it. Behind the words plastered across the UK yogurt aisle sits an industry that has spent decades perfecting the art of selling you less than what the label leads you to believe, and getting away with charging premium prices for the privilege. Some of what is sitting in your fridge right now is genuinely costing you your blood sugar, your gut bacteria, possibly your trust in a brand you have bought for years without ever turning the pot around. This starts now. The 8 to avoid. We begin with the supermarket giant that stopped making yogurt and started assembling it. 8. Tesco Natural Yogurt. Pick up a tub of Tesco Natural Yogurt and turn it around. The first ingredient listed is not milk. It is something called whole milk yogurt base, and that word base is the giveaway because what follows it is not a description of yogurt at all. It is a parts list. Milk, skimmed milk, concentrate, water, whipping cream, starter culture, dried skimmed milk. This is milk that has been broken apart into its separate components, dried into powder, diluted back down with water, and stitched together with whipping cream to disguise the texture that genuine fermentation would have given it for free. Skimmed milk concentrate and dried skimmed milk appearing in the same product is the tell. Manufacturers do this because actual fermentation, the kind that takes 12 to 24 hours and ties up tank space, costs money that powder and water do not. Tesco is Britain's largest grocery retailer, and millions of households reach for this tub every week, believing they are buying something simple. What they are actually buying is reconstituted milk powder, bulked with cream, briefly introduced to a culture before being heat-treated for shelf stability in a way that leaves those bacteria dead long before the lid comes off. That matters beyond honesty. Live bacteria are the entire reason people choose yogurt over a dessert pot in the first place. For gut health, for digestion, for the probiotic benefit splashed across yogurt advertising for decades. Buy this, and you are paying for that promise while receiving none of it. The next one does not target vulnerability. It targets ambition, and it has built an empire out of a single number. 7. Arla Protein Yogurt. Arla Protein is not selling yogurt anymore. It is selling reassurance. The reassurance that you are getting enough protein. The reassurance that you are making a healthy choice. The reassurance that a brightly coloured pot with 20 grams printed on the front somehow belongs closer to a protein shake than a dairy aisle. The protein is real. What is far less certain is whether you ever actually needed it in the way the packaging implies. Most British adults eating a varied diet already consume more than adequate daily protein without supplementing it through a fortified dairy product at breakfast. But Arla understood something the industry figured out long ago. People are anxious about protein. Fitness culture convinced an entire generation that more protein automatically means more health. And the moment that anxiety existed, there was a product ready to soothe it. Turn the pot around and read what it actually takes to arrive at that number. The protein range uses milk, protein concentrate, and milk protein isolate, both processed derivatives stripped from milk and added back in concentrated form specifically to push the figure on the front as high as commercially necessary. The base product is then sweetened because unflavoured high-protein yogurt tastes medicinal to most people without intervention, and thickened with modified starch because milk protein isolate alone produces a texture most people would not voluntarily eat for breakfast. This isn't the simple dairy product the packaging wants you to imagine. It is a carefully engineered product designed to satisfy modern cravings for performance while preserving the appearance of natural food. The pot looks like something you might find in a health food shop. The ingredient list reads like something assembled in a processing facility. You are not eating more protein because your body needed it. You are eating more protein because Arla needed a number large enough to print on the front. Around £1.80 per pot across UK supermarkets. This one comes from a supermarket that built its whole reputation on quality matching price, which is what makes it sting. 2 sweeteners stacked on top of each other, hiding behind a word that is supposed to signal health. 6. Waitrose Greek style. Yogurt with honey. Turn the pot around. Greek style natural yogurt. Honey at 6%, light brown soft sugar, maize starch, concentrated lemon juice. 2 separate sweeteners stacked together plus a starch added to thicken what straining alone never got the chance to. Independent nutritional analysis of this product has recorded sugar levels that sit above what you would find in a can of cola. Per 100 grams in something marketed as a wholesome breakfast pot. Waitrose understands what the word Greek does to a British shopper's perception of a product, and what honey does, glowing there with its implication of naturalness. Both carry what nutritionists call a health halo, a built-in assumption of virtue that short-circuits the part of your brain that might otherwise question why a yogurt tastes this sweet. A pot like this spikes blood sugar in much the same way a dessert would, then leaves you hungry again within the hour, the opposite of what a high-protein breakfast is supposed to do for you. The supermarket that prides itself on quality control let 2 cheap sweeteners do the job that real straining was supposed to do, then charged a premium for the privilege of being misled. If even one of these 3 is sitting in your fridge right now, subscribe, because the worst betrayal on this list is still ahead. 3 down, and here is something worth sitting with for a moment. Every brand so far has traded on the appearance of simplicity. This next one traded on something different. It changed what goes into the cow. Without telling you. 5. Arla Skyer Icelandic-style yogurt. Vanilla, 450 grams. In late 2024, Arla Foods, the dairy cooperative behind this product, trialled a feed additive called Bovaer across 30 UK farms. The goal was reducing methane emissions from cattle. What happened next was never printed on any label. Bovaer suppresses methane in cow digestive systems through synthetic chemical intervention. The active compound works by blocking natural enzymes in the cow's stomach, disrupting the biological process that produces methane during digestion. That is the mechanism. And some farms that trialled it found their cows got sick. More infections, visible skin problems. Veterinary reports from participating farms documented animals deteriorating during the trial period. When farmers withdrew the additive, the cows got better within weeks. The Food Standards Agency maintains the compound presents no risk to human health in the resulting milk. That assessment deserves to stand rather than be dismissed without examination. But safety is not the same thing as consent, and consent is precisely what was missing. The vanilla pot you put in your trolley in 2024 may have come from one of those 30 farms. It carried no mark, no disclosure, no indication that the animal producing the milk inside it was eating something that made other animals on the same program visibly unwell. The trial concluded in November 2025. Arla has not publicly ruled out returning to it. The only yogurt that can categorically rule it out is certified organic, since Soil Association standards do not permit Bovaer as an approved agricultural input. Everything else carrying Arla milk sits inside a transparency gap that was never designed with you in mind. 4 down, and this next one has a health promise. So large that regulators on 2 continents took notice. 4. Activia. Danone. Activia has built one of the most recognisable health identities in British supermarkets. The green packaging, the probiotic messaging, the implication that reaching for this pot every morning is an act of clinical self-care, not just breakfast. The company behind it was forced to tell a different story in court. In the United States, Danone agreed to pay $21 million to settle a class action lawsuit after regulators challenged the scientific basis of its digestive health claims. The Federal Trade Commission found that the advertising went substantially beyond what the clinical evidence could support. Activia had been marketed with direct claims about improving digestive transit and reducing bloating that the FTC concluded were not substantiated to the standard required for health claims of that nature. In the UK, the Advertising Standards Authority has separately challenged probiotic benefit claims across the broader yogurt category. Danone scaled back its messaging after the legal pressure landed. What remained was something quieter but equally effective. The packaging still communicates health. The word probiotic still appears. The design still signals wellness. The only thing that changed was the specific claim that got them into a courtroom. The implied promise that this pot does something clinically meaningful for your gut that a plain yogurt would not has never been fully withdrawn from the consumer's impression of the brand. A product that commanded a premium over standard yogurt on the basis of a health proposition regulators formally challenged is still sitting on the shelf at that same premium today. Around £1.80 to £2 per 120-gram pot across UK supermarkets. 5 down, and this next brand also knows how to do it properly, which is what makes its flavoured range feel like a different company entirely. Take away the fat and watch how many additives it takes to fool your appetite into thinking it is full. 3. Unken 0% fat flavoured range. Unken knows how to make proper yogurt. The plain natural range proves it, built honestly from milk and live cultures with nothing else required. The flavoured zero-fat range under the same name is a different product built on a different set of priorities. Take the fat out of yogurt and you take out the thing that gives it any flavour worth tasting. To compensate, the flavoured zero-fat line leans on fruit flavouring rather than fruit itself, a far cheaper route to a vanilla or strawberry taste that needs no actual fruit sourced or processed. Sweetness has to come back through artificial sweeteners, and body has to come back through starches and gums, because zero-fat yogurt without any of that intervention is thin and watery in a way nobody wants first thing in the morning. What you end up holding is a product constructed almost entirely around an absence, propped up by 3 separate categories of additive to disguise it. Fat and protein are what actually keep you full. Engineer the fat out and lean on sweeteners instead, and you get something that satisfies for 20 minutes before the hunger returns, which is precisely the mechanism behind reaching for a biscuit an hour later and wondering why breakfast didn't seem to work. A full, fat, natural yogurt with real fruit stirred in by hand at home would keep you fuller for longer, using far fewer engineered ingredients than this product ever will. 6 down, and this next one sells you a feeling long before it sells you anything else. The packaging promises small and artisan. The ingredients tell a different story entirely. 2. The Collective flavoured range. The Collective has built its identity around feeling artisan. The name suggests a cooperative of passionate yogurt makers, and the packaging carries that same rustic, handcrafted visual language. The natural range earns that positioning, made with real cultures and nothing to apologise for. The flavoured range tells a different story once you stop reading the branding and start reading the label. The cherry variant relies on fruit compote, which sounds wholesome until you understand that compote simply means fruit cooked down with a substantial quantity of sugar added in the process. The passion fruit variant leans on fruit puree alongside natural flavouring, a phrase that sounds reassuring and means almost nothing, since those compounds can legally be derived from sources with no obvious connection to the fruit being advertised. Both varieties use pectin to achieve a set texture that proper straining would have delivered without any additive at all. The premium. The Collective commands over Müller or Unken is not funding a meaningfully different recipe. It is funding the design, the story, and the feeling of buying from something smaller and more considered than a mass market brand. You are not paying for yogurt here, you are paying to feel like a more discerning shopper than the person reaching for the supermarket's own brand next to it. 1 more to go, and this is the one that should bother you most. Not because of what it contains, because of who is holding the pot. 1. Petits Philus Kids Yogurts. Everything on this list so far has been aimed at adults who can read the label, do the research, and make a more informed decision if they choose to. This one is aimed at children, and it is their parents reading the label, trusting that a product marketed directly to a small child must, by necessity, have been made with that child's health as the guiding priority. pick up the strawberry variant. Fromage fraise, water, sugar at 6.2%, strawberry puree from concentrate at 5%, carrot juice from concentrate, maize starch, lemon juice from concentrate, natural flavorings, milk mineral concentrate, vitamin D, vitamin B. Carrot juice is on there because it provides a pink tint without the cost of more actual fruit. Maize starch is on there because concentrate puree at 5% does not produce a texture thick enough to feel substantial. Natural flavorings are on there to deliver the taste. The fruit itself is not present in sufficient quantity to provide. The strawberry and raspberry on the front of the pot are not the main characters in what your child is eating. They are the marketing. Then there are the vitamins. Vitamin D and vitamin B6, listed on the pot as though their presence represents a considered act of nutritional care. What the label does not tell you is that the form in which added vitamins appear in processed food often carries lower bioavailability than the equivalent found in whole food sources. The vitamins are there primarily because they are inexpensive to include and powerful to print on packaging aimed at parents doing their best. A child eating 2 or 3 of these pots across a day is eating a processed dairy product containing more sugar than the fruit it claims to taste of, and more additives than the yogurt it presents itself as. The people buying this are not careless. They are tired, they are trusting, and they are reading a label designed to reward that trust without ever fully earning it. That is the #1 brand on this list. 8 brands down. Every one of them currently on UK shelves, selling you something other than what yogurt is actually supposed to be. Before we get to what is worth buying, there is one distinction you need because it changes how you read every yogurt label from here on. The 2 words that change everything. Greek yogurt and Greek-style yogurt are not the same product, even though the shelf places them inches apart and lets you assume otherwise. Since 2014, UK law has reserved the term Greek yogurt exclusively for yogurt actually made in Greece. Everything else, however thick or however it tastes, has to be labelled Greek style. That single word, style, carries the weight on this packaging. Authentic Greek yogurt earns its thickness through straining, a slow removal of liquid whey from properly fermented milk, which concentrates protein and fat naturally and lands around 10 grams of protein per 100 grams. British Greek-style yogurt can use that exact same traditional method and be every bit as genuine, but it can also fake that same thickness with starch, stabilizers, and added cream, landing at 4 grams of protein or less while looking identical in the tub. So here is the rule from this point forward. If a pot says Greek, made in Greece, check the ingredients as simply milk and cultures. If it says Greek style, made in Britain, that is not automatically a problem, but check the protein figure and the label before you trust it. 10 grams of protein and a list of just milk and cultures means it was properly strained. 4 grams and a list including starch or stabilizers means the thickness was faked. Keep that distinction in mind for everything that follows. The 5 worth buying. We start with the brand that has been the benchmark for genuine Greek yogurt longer than most UK supermarkets have. Stocked it. 5 Phage total. 5%. Fat Greek recipe. Yogurt. Phage is one of the oldest names in Greek yogurt production and the quiet standard against which most properly strained products are measured. The 5% fat Greek recipe variant carries an ingredient list that requires no interpretation. Strained yogurt made from pasteurized skimmed milk, cream, and live yogurt cultures. 3 components. Nothing added to thicken what the straining process was not trusted to do alone. Nothing included because a food technologist decided it would be cheaper than time. Protein content sits at around 9 to 10 grams per 100 grams. That number is the most reliable confirmation that the work was done correctly. It cannot be faked with starch or stabilizers because those ingredients add carbohydrate, not protein. When the protein figure is genuinely there, the liquid was genuinely removed. For people who want a clean, properly fermented Greek yogurt without searching specialist retailers or ordering online, Phage is the most accessible entry point on this list. Available at Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose and Ocado. The 500-gram tub costs around £3 to £3.50 depending on where you buy it. It is the clearest, most honest version of what most yogurt on this list pretended to be. The The next one has been doing it properly since before most supermarkets existed. One ingredient on the label. Just one. 4. Longley Farm Natural Yogurt. You will find it widely across UK supermarkets and independent retailers, particularly strong across the north of England. Longley Farm has been making yogurt in Holmfirth, West Yorkshire since the 1950s, and the family business behind it, now run by the third generation of the Dickinson family, has never strayed from the principle that started it. The natural yogurt carries a single ingredient on the label: milk containing live cultures. No added sugar, no colour, no preservative, no stabiliser, because none of it was ever required. It tastes like yogurt made before the industry decided powders and thickeners were cheaper than patience. People who grew up in Yorkshire in the 1980s still talk about this product with a loyalty no marketing budget could manufacture, and the ingredients list explains exactly why. The next brand comes from the budget end of the shelf, which is where this story gets surprising. Now, made in Greece, properly strained, sold for a fraction of what several premium brands charge for the exact same thing. 3. Aldi Brookley Authentic Greek Yogurt. This is where the discount supermarkets outperform some of the premium ones. Brookley Authentic Greek Yogurt is made in Greece, traditionally strained with milk, cream and live cultures, and nothing beyond that. It carries a Nutri-Score reflecting a sound nutritional product, and the zero-fat version delivers around 10 grams of protein per 100 grams, the figure you would expect from yogurt that has actually had the liquid removed rather than the texture faked. It is worth being careful here because Aldi also stocks a separate, cheaper Brookley Greek-style yogurt made in the UK rather than Greece, and the two should not be confused on the shelf. The one to reach for carries the word authentic on the label, and at roughly £2.20 for a 500-gram tub, it remains one of the most affordably priced genuine Greek yogurts sold anywhere in the country. For the genuine article at a premium price point, one supermarket makes up for its earlier misstep. This time, Waitrose puts its name on the actual thing, not the imitation. 2. Waitrose No. 1. Authentic Greek Yogurt. After the honey-laden disappointment a few entries back, it would be easy to assume Waitrose simply misunderstands what Greek yogurt is supposed to be. The No. 1 range proves otherwise. This is strained yogurt made in Greece, made from skimmed milk, cream and starter culture, with the cream added back deliberately after straining to reach the desired fat level. A traditional production method rather than a shortcut. No water, no added sugar, no starch. Geography and method both check out here, which earns it the word Greek rather than the watered-down Greek style sitting one shelf over. You pay a premium for it, in keeping with everything else carrying the No. 1 name, but for once, that price tag isn't doing the persuading on its own. And the best recommendation on this entire list costs almost nothing and gives you something no supermarket ever will. 1. Make your own yogurt at home. This sounds daunting until you actually try it, and then it becomes the easiest habit in your kitchen. Warm milk gently, stir in a starter culture, leave it somewhere warm for 12 to 24 hours, and what comes out the other end is properly fermented yogurt with active bacteria still doing their job, because nothing gets heat treated afterward to kill them off for shelf stability. The trick worth knowing is using a small spoonful of an authentic strained Greek yogurt, something like Phage Total, as your starter in warm milk. Let it sit and you have made genuine Greek-style yogurt at home using exactly the bacterial strains that built the original product, with a spoonful of each batch able to start the next one indefinitely. Commercial yogurt typically ferments for 1 to 2 hours in industrial vats because that fits the production schedule. A homemade batch fermented for a full day develops a noticeably deeper flavour, with no added sugar, no starch, and no stabiliser, because none of it was ever needed. Every brand on the bad list was engineered around a single commercial truth, that you would not make it yourself. The moment you do, the fake thickness and the dead probiotics and the health claims built on legal definitions you were never supposed to look up become irrelevant. You are not buying the imitation anymore, you are making the real thing. That is why this is the No. 1 recommendation. 8 products, all of them currently on UK supermarket shelves, sold to people who trusted that a tub of yogurt meant exactly what the word has always meant. Milk. Bacteria, time, 5 options, including the version you can make in your own kitchen tonight that gave you back what that word was always supposed to promise. The next time you stand in that chilled aisle, you do not need to remember 13 brand names. You need one habit. Turn the pot around. If it says milk and cultures, nothing else, you are holding real food. If it says anything beyond that, put it back and find the one that doesn't. The biggest names on that shelf spent decades learning how to fake it. The 5 brands you just saw never needed to. There is a difference.